Welcome back, everybody. I'm Conley Woods. This is TCGplayer.com, and we are playing Mono Black Eldrazi in prep for GP Denver. We don't know what we're against, but we have a very keepable hand. We're on the draw. Red. Red usually means fast. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and just swamp him here and hit him with that Harsh Scrutiny, find out what we're working with. Energy. Okay, so we're going to take his 2-drop, which is going to be the most disruptive. He's got 3 3-drops, so that'll slow him down a little bit. The Garrison is a scary card, but at least Smuggler's Copter will deal with that. Voltaic Brawler's got to be the most disruptive thing here to take, though. He doesn't even have a 3rd land as of right now. We'll also get a Scry off it. I'm going to throw this on the bottom because we definitely want more defensive cards like any spot removal, Bearer of Silence, Thought Not Seer would be great. I don't need another creature I can't block. So here I'm just going to Copter. Next turn I'll be able to fit in a Ruins of Worn Reef and get in with my Copter. Assuming he doesn't leave open Harsh Lightning. Yeah, he hit a 3rd land, so hopefully one of those 2 creatures, I assume. Yeah. So now I have an interesting choice. I can either let him have a couple guys. Yeah, I guess I can't really defend against that. Because he's got the Harness Lightning. If he didn't have the Harness Lightning, it'd be a different story. I am not drawing well. I'm going to get rid of one of these because I don't need 3. Alright, at this point, we're in trouble. Because he gets to follow this up with this other 3-drop, and he's got a million creatures in play. Oh, we got it. Okay. Brickin'. The 4th Flame Tendrils on the sideboard will be huge from this matchup. Alright, dead dude. I should have played this first. I could have got a counter on it. That was my mistake. If I played this first, I could have activated it when he targeted that and then put a counter on this. It almost doesn't matter because this game is 2 seconds from being over. Counters. Don't even have an exile card. If I had Flaying Tendrils, no, that still wouldn't be good enough. Yeah. Dunzo. Alright, well, that was quite the beginnings. We had a really good Harsh Scrutiny, but it fell apart after that. Definitely bringing in the other Harsh Scrutiny, bringing in these 2 Kalitas. Out come the Reality Smashers. Out comes at least 1 Scrap Heap Scrounger and probably 1 Copter. Out comes the Pilgrim's Eye. In comes Tendrils. All of them, and Strangler. Yeah, we'll take out another Scrounger, actually. I'm actually going to take out at least 1 Transgress. I want this Pilgrim's Eye in. I could probably take out a Thought Not Seer if I wanted to. It's the only other card I want in, probably. Liliana doesn't seem great, but I think I do want this Titan's Presence in. I'm trying to figure out what I take out. Ah, maybe I don't. I have the 4 Flaying Tendrils. That's a lot. Down to 20 creatures. I could just take out another Copter. Alright, let's try another Copter out for Titan's Presence, see how that goes. Alright, we're back for game 2 against Red Green Energy. Alright, back for game 2. Obviously going on to play. Hoping for Flaying Tendrils sooner rather than later. What do I do with this hand? This hand is pretty mediocre. Light on lands, light on creatures, light on interaction. I think I'm just going to mulligan this. Much better. Put that on top. We obviously have 4th land, but we'll get to scry off the Harsh Scrutiny. Disrupt him a little bit. See what he has, what his game plan is. Obviously, leave him anything that Flaying Tendrils is going to kill. Incorrigible Youth, say. Alright, I gotta take this Garrison. Super obnoxious for me to play against Garrison right now. And I'm gonna have to kill his. Ooh. I gotta put this on the bottom actually. Also, I need to cast Flaying Tendrils on turn 3 against a Cub, because if I let him hit with a Cub, then I can't Flaying Tendrils the Cub. So Flaying Tendrils, whatever he plays on turn 2 here, of course it's going to Cub. And then hope to draw a 4th land before them for Bear Resonance, which I have. So he just next 2 plays, which would be pretty big. Incorrigible used to be stuck in his hand for a while because he's got no madness outlets. Oh, okay, played a 3-drop. I didn't expect that. Alright. All things considered, we're doing pretty well here. You still can't cast Incorrigible Use, which we can give with the Thought Knots here, so I'll probably play Cub, and then we'll build a block it. I actually don't need to take the Use here because I have Transgress for use, so I should take Appetite for the Unnatural is pretty useless. Guess just take the Fiery Instinct. Or the Fiery Tempo, excuse me. So that way he can't attack into my Thought Knots here. Get in for 2. Any creatures I draw at this point are going to be pretty solid with the Ruins out. There you go. I can even do this and that. This is much scarier at this point than the Use are. Going to leave back the Thought Knots here. I don't think it's worth letting him get some energy. His decks can do so many things with it. I'll start turning it sideways when it becomes when it's like obvious that he can't turn it around. But if I were to trade right there, it's trading 4 for 2, just to my advantage. But then this becomes a 3/3 at a minimum. But more importantly, he's got energy he can use, and that just scares me. So I think like next turn I can maybe potentially make the offer, because at that point he's going to be at 6 if he doesn't block. So I'm threatening a lethal attack back. Whereas if I attack there, he's at 12 and he's got a tapped long Tusk Cub, and then I'm in a little bit of danger at least because he's got Appetite for Destruction to gain some life off this. I don't really care about him killing this in most situations, but in that particular situation I do. Oh, here it's perfect because I drew a Matter Shaper to block his Cub. So I'm just going to turn everything sideways. He's obviously going to cast an Appetite on that thing, which is fine. Gains a couple life down to 12. So now if any other creature dies, I get back the Scrounger. If any other creature doesn't die, he's dead, obviously. Not immediately, but soon. His hand is still 5-drop, 5-drop. 2 unknowns, yeah. No, he can't Madness that, so that didn't turn out as badly. Does get to draw a card. What is it? I'm curious. Okay. Don't think he'll attack, but we'll see. Okay, so I can bring back Scrounger, so I'm going to actually... Gonna get frisky here. Alright, he's willing to trade. That means this thing won't be producing any energy, which is big for me. And I get to draw a card. So, again, he had 5 drops in his hand, so cutting off a mana there is big. He would have been able to cast Incorrigible Use this turn, but now he can't. We don't know his other card. He's got one of these. But we get to bring back a 4/3 Scrounger. We've got 2 targets in the yard, so that's pretty much guaranteed to come back a couple times this game. if it needs to. No reason to. Oh, he's got a incorrigible use plus another lightning axe. So he drew pretty well. He drew double lightning axe to go with his double use. He couldn't get the first one off. That's fine. We'll see how aggressive he gets here. He could put me to 11. I'm going to put him to 6. Yeah, that's good enough because it'll at least threaten lethal, so he can't necessarily turn his creature sideways. I could have left this back and not attacked and given 2 counters here, but that's bad. Don't do that. Just get him with both, or just one. If he doesn't get him with both, it's not lethal. But this saves him potentially lethal. He's respecting it. He probably drew a land. I drew a blank. It's definitely better for me to get in here and see what I draw. Ooh, that was big. Another loot won't matter, so I'm going to play this in case I need to use the mana for anything weird. I could have kept it in my hand, I guess, to bluff something, but I think playing that will be good enough. These aren't lethal by themselves, and I have a 3/4 lifelink in play. That'll give me a 2/2. 2/2 turns on Smuggler's Copter. Just going to attack with this. We'll leave back the Kalitas again. If he's got Harness Lightning, he'll obviously cast it right now. He's got a Lightning Axe, he's discarding a Mountain. Okay. I respect it. I could have attacked here because if he blocked, it would have worked out for me, but I thought the loot was going to work out better, and I didn't want to tap my Kalitas. Okay. Get a couple guys, put a couple counters, and that one's a wrap. Alright, so I think I like that strategy. We're on the draw, so we have to be a little more cautious about what we leave in, but I think that we have basically the most defensive build possible. We only have 2 Scroungers and 2 Copters. We just happen to draw them that game, which is a little weird, one of each. But I think if we draw Flaying Tendrils and Wasteland Stranglers and stuff again, we should be pretty fine. We drew our Kalitas there at the end, and it was pretty nice, so I'm just going to keep this as is. I could see bringing in the Liliana, but I doubt it. He's got some weird cards in his deck. He's got the Arbor Beck. Dude, I'm not sure. All right, we'll be back from Game 3 against red-green energy with mono black Eldrazi. All right, we're back. We're going to keep this. We're on the draw, but and our opponent's on the mulligan already, which is, again, great for our deck because of how much disruption we have. We have only 2 lands, but a really good hand with a turn 1 Harsh Scrutiny, which gives us a Scry, and we'll disrupt him. We're going to take his only creature. He's got 2 fiery things. We're going to put this on top. So that was great for us. Harsh Scrutiny, I promise, is one of the most underrated cards in Standard right now. Give it a shot, folks. Give it a shot. So we're going to be aggro here and play both of our Scroungers. We only have 2 in our deck, but we keep drawing them. Oh, we got Incendiary Float. I'm actually not going to play the Copter because we know that's just going to bite the dust to a Fiery Temper if I do. Oh, well, I lied. Land? Land is perfect. There was some value in potentially playing the Kalitas first here, but I think we'll get a window to fit Kalitas in eventually. And I think getting that him before the, if he played any other creature, maybe. But this creates 2/1/1, so my Edict just becomes terrible after that. So here I'm actually just going to Thought-Knot Serum because it's going to be the last time I could do so. Again, Kalitas is going to kind of sit bench for a while, but after this, he's going to have an empty hand, so getting some value out of my Thought-Knot Serum is pretty good. And it does take a Fiery Temper away, which is a reasonable card to snag. Our opponent's on 0 cards. We're ahead in life. We've got a great hand. Boarded out 2 Scroungers and 2 Copters and drew 3 of the 4 remaining. We have Lethal in play, so he has to draw something good. And if he does, we're probably still going to win. Alright, got there. The comeback against Red-Green Energy. That his opening draw was really, really good despite a Harsh Scrutiny, but then we were able to kind of turn it around and pull off our sort of, 1-for-1 up the ladder until we get to a lot of mana, which is kind of our signature against any aggressive deck. So we'll take it. We'll move on to the next one. Our sideboarding there was pretty straightforward. We boarded in up to 4 Flaying Tendrils. We get to be a little more flexible with them there. We can fire them off as 1-for-1s and be a little happier with it, especially when combined with the 4 Wasteland Stranglers. But the big reason to bring in 4, or to go up to 4 Flaying Tendrils in the sideboard is that it is just one of the most warping cards to take a matchup that would otherwise be terrible and turn it into a reasonable one. So I think having access to 4 of them in the situations where it is just the absolute best thing has a lot of value. There are certainly matchups where you might just bring in 2 or 3, but I think that having access to 4, because it is just probably the most powerful single option spell in your sideboard, is probably the way to go. And Lost Legacy's been seeming cool as well, although that didn't come up here. But I'll take it. Red-Green Energy in the books for Mono Black Eldrazi and TCGplayer.com. I'm Conley Woods. We'll see you for the next one.